We're going to turn out to the year in politics, and oof, what a year it was. The impeachment trial of a president, a hard-fought primary campaign, a national election that went on and on and on. So let's take a look back and a look ahead with our powerhouse political duo, and more importantly, my friends, John Carl and Mary Bruce. Happy New Year to you guys. Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay, Mary, I'm going to start with you. Joe Biden's list of everything he said he wanted to do on day one is a really long one. What's realistic on day one and beyond? What can he actually pull off?
This list is massive. He has outlined a very busy day one in office. Obviously, the first priority here is tackling the pandemic. We've begun to get a sense of where he's going to start. Biden says he's going to be asking all Americans to wear a mask for the first 100 days, requiring them where he can. He's also promising to get kids safely back into schools and vowing that there will be 100 million shots in the first 100 days, vaccinating 50 million Americans. But take a look at what else is on this very lengthy list. He has said he wants to send Congress a bill on immigration reform, wants to pass hate crime legislation, tackle gun reforms, and those are just the things that actually require work with Congress. Then, of course, there's a long list of President Trump's actions that Biden essentially wants to undo on day one, rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, repealing the Muslim ban, reinstating DACA. It goes on and on and on. Last time I checked, there are only 24 hours in a day. So Joe Biden is going to have to somehow prioritize where to begin, where he can have the most success straight off the bat.
So you're saying it's going to be a long working day on day one for all of us. All right.
Correct.
Got it. All right, John, I want to turn to you because so much of what Joe Biden can actually pull off is going to depend on what happens with this runoff race in Georgia. Could Congress end up being the biggest hurdle of his presidency?
Oh, no question about it. And the Georgia race is huge. If the Democrats win both of those seats, they control the Senate, which means every one of those Senate committees is chaired by a Democrat, which means the Senate agenda is controlled and dictated by the Democrats. But, Cecilia, even if they pull it off, even if the Democrats win both of those seats, win control of the Senate, it's by the narrowest of margins, and you have a very narrow majority, a historically narrow majority in the House. It's going to be very difficult for Biden to get anything through this Congress without Republican support. This is going to be the biggest challenge of the Biden presidency, is how finding a way to deal with not just Congress, but Republicans in Congress.
Mary, I want you to pull out your political crystal ball because you've covered both of these men, Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden. What's this relationship going to look like? What's it need to look like?
Well, so much of Joe Biden's agenda is really going to be riding on his relationship with Mitch McConnell, especially, of course, if Republicans retain control of the Senate. They do have a very real personal relationship, and Joe Biden is adamant that because he has these kinds of relationships with Republicans, that he is going to be able to work across the aisle, bring back some bipartisanship to Washington. But I think it's also important to be pretty clear-headed here that the Washington that Joe Biden left is not the Washington that he is inheriting. This is a far more partisan town. But a lot of it is going to have to come down to him working the phones, working those personal relationships, which is really something that Joe Biden enjoys. He prides himself as being, a man of the Senate, and he is going to have to really rely on those relationships going forward.
And John, just really quickly, President Trump isn't going out quietly. What do you expect a post-Trump presidency to look like?
He's going to be trying to call the shots for Republicans from Mar-a-Lago. And, Cecilia, this is the way somebody who is going to be with the president when he leaves put it to me about what he wants to do, a three-part agenda. Destroy the Biden presidency, take back the House, and then encourage Republicans as their first order of business in the House to impeach Joe Biden. So there you go. That is from somebody close to the president as to what he wants to do in the very beginning of his post-presidency.
So I think what you're telling us is buckle up. Got it.
Yes.
Happy New Year again, guys. Thanks so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.